Will the Ethereum ETF actually get approved this week? What do we know so far from institutions and the SEC? And if it does get approved, what will actually happen to the price of Ethereum and its related assets? In today's video, I will look at all the facts to answer these questions. Make sure to watch till the end as I will give my personal prediction on Ethereum for the second half of the year based on the price performance of Bitcoin after its ETF approval. Welcome back to the Virtual Bacon channel. My name is Dennis. I'm a crypto angel investor for the past 5 years, and I have invested in over 100 crypto companies. On this channel, I share views on market trends and investing strategy to build wealth in crypto. Now, why is the Ethereum ETF so important and if not more important than the Bitcoin ETF? There are two sides to this question. Number one is with the status of Ethereum. You guys already know Bitcoin is confirmed to be treated as a commodity instead of a security by the regulators, and this has been cemented after the approval of the Bitcoin Spot ETF. This ETF would have never come true if Bitcoin was going to be treated as a security instead of a commodity. So after the ETF launch, this has been completely settled, and from now on until the foreseeable future, all of the US markets and US traders can actively access Bitcoin without worrying about security regulations. Now, when it comes to Ethereum, the SEC and its chairman Gary Gensler has continued to dodge the question around whether Ethereum is a commodity or security or something else. There have been many different lawsuits mentioning Ethereum, but every time that the lawsuit would quote Ethereum as a commodity alongside Bitcoin, the SEC just never commented on it. A recent post also revealed that the SEC and Gensler at least believed Ether as a security for over a year. And just 2 months ago in March, SEC went after Consensus, the parent company of MetaMask, alongside many other wallet providers, simply for providing staking services for Ethereum that they are somehow dealing with an unregistered security. Again, this is a question around the legal status of Ethereum as a commodity or security. So if we can actually get the Ethereum ETF approved, this question becomes no longer debatable. Right after the Bitcoin ETF got approved, we saw huge amounts of money flow into the Bitcoin markets from the US traditional funds because these guys didn't have the avenue to access Bitcoin related products before in a regulated way. This is why in the past 5 months, we have seen $12 billion inflow into the Bitcoin markets directly buying up Bitcoin as a result of these ETF being available. So if the Ethereum ETF actually gets approved in the US, this could have a very similar effect. Again, this is only important because these types of products were never offered in the US. Now, let's examine the positive impact this event has on the cryptocurrency market. For instance, consider Amazon's cryptocurrency, AMS, a moderate cryptocurrency for Amazon transactions. Although discussions about this started 3 years ago, Amazon seems to have strategically decided to issue AMS tokens now. Similar to how ETFs boosted Bitcoin and ETH by attracting institutional interest, the integration of AMS within the Amazon ecosystem could drive significant interest, price increases, and market activity. Seizing this opportunity, Amazon promptly launched a pre-sale for its cryptocurrency, further demonstrating its commitment to the cryptocurrency era. If you want to learn more about it, you can stop the video and go to the link that is showing on the screen, or I will put it below the video description. Okay, now let's get into my Ethereum price prediction for the second half of this year. Long story short, I expect a lot of volatility in the next couple weeks, and I wouldn't bet on Ethereum long position immediately, especially now that this news is already well known. In fact, I could see Ethereum even coming back down to retest something like this $3,000 range for another entry period. You can see this very easily around the time when the Bitcoin ETF was approved. The Bitcoin ETF came on January 10th of this year, and the week after that, we actually saw Bitcoin drop from $47,000 back down to $40,000 before its next major run up all the way to 70K. This is because a lot of people flood into the market thinking that right after the ETF gets approved, there's going to be like $10 billion of buying demand all in one day. That's just simply not how things happen. It usually is still a little bit of a sell the news event while the ETFs actually get listed and these institutions actually get their money ready. Even if they want to buy it, they will take a few months in order to accumulate their positions. And that's why we saw these $12 billion slowly flow in day after day in the last 5 months. So this is why I'm not rushing into the market to buy Ethereum right now. I'm fully expecting a lot more chop at least for a next 1 to 2 weeks period, potentially longer if the S1 approval and the Ethereum ETF trading doesn't start right away, like on the Bitcoin's case. So I'm just holding my spot Ethereum position and waiting to see if I can get an entry at a lower price point, potentially around that $3,000 level. If this happens, we could see a mean reversal where Ethereum actually catches up to Bitcoin. All of this price suppression in the last 2 years could potentially lead to a major run in the price of Ethereum finally in the second half of this year. And if this happens, I expect Ethereum to at least outperform Bitcoin by 30% and if not 50% until the end of this bull run. Basically, that means the ETH-BTC chart, I expect it to bounce at least around 30% in the second half of this year. So what does this mean when it comes to Ethereum price prediction then? I expect Ethereum to at least reach $6,000 by the end of this year. This is around a 60% gain from current price. I get to this number by taking a relatively conservative estimate for the price of Bitcoin to reach $100,000 by the end of this year. That is a 44% gain. So taking a 1.3 to 1.5x return on that gives us around a 60% gain on the price of Ethereum going to $6,000. As usual, predictions are simply predictions. They're random numbers. What I'm looking at here is just trying to take a relatively conservative approach, and especially looking at how suppressed Ethereum's price has been relatively to Bitcoin's. And that is why I'm relatively confident in saying that I expect Ethereum to do really well in the second half of this year. But all of this is hinged on the fact that the Ethereum ETF actually gets approved. If some black swan event actually happens this week, then all bets are off and we will have to reevaluate. Okay, that's everything I wanted to cover for today. Let me know down in the comments if you agree with the Ethereum ETF analysis or not. Before I go, make sure to follow me on Twitter or X at virtualbacon0x. This is where I drop day-to-day alpha as I'm scrolling the timeline, and I will make sure to cover all the breaking news in this next coming week around the Ethereum ETF approval.